I don't care if you've been asking your waifu to call you a stupid man thing all night if you up smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Probably coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with all that dang shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Finally, the ninja has come back to YouTube to put that dankness on your candy ass. Can you smell what the ninja is cooking?
That's a pretty good intro.
My far right engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on trees and first cutters.
I finally beat the second boss in Returnal. I feel like I could take over the world right now. I'm just saying, the game is fucking hard. But it's not too hard. It's just kind of hard.
Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
She asked me if I was an introvert or an extrovert. I looked her dead in the eye and said, I'm a pervert.
Oh! Yeah.
Tell her you're an insert. This. You want to insert?
Oh, man. Usually you got some type of statistics, Kronos?
That I do. Listener of the week would be Brittany. Won't say your last name.
Spears?
No, definitely not Spears.
Oh, damn.
But a person that definitely wears a Pikachu hat. Just saying, that's your profile picture. And first in the chat would be nobody yet because the way that this new YouTube setup goes kind of sucks. So it'll take people a few minutes to... Oh, there we go. Stitch is in. What's going on, man?
Nice. I just got the notification.
Yeah, it's there's like a delay now. There wasn't before, but now there is.
All good.
Before, actually, give the RPs and then I'll give a special announcement.
Okay. Old Ninja, what you pouring out for whom today?
So we're pouring out some King Cobra this week. I seem to be pouring out some of that King Cobra a lot, but I mean, it's good shit. We got Norman Lloyd, an actor whose film career started in 1923.
God damn.
He's worked with Orson Welles, Alfred Hitchcock, but his huge claim to fame was his role in Saint Elsewhere as Dr. Daniel Ostrander. He would go on to be a favorite with Star Trek fans as the mentor to Captain Picard, portraying Professor Galen in Star Trek Next Generation. He was also in the short-lived cult sci-fi hit 7 Days on UPN. He's had other notable film credits, including Dead Poets Society, where he played the headmaster, and in the Martin Scorsese film Age of Innocence. He has produced 39 TV films and TV and film projects. His final acting credit was in Amy Schumacher's Trainwreck. He died in his sleep at the age of 106. He outlived one.
Damn.
He outlived one of his daughters who died last year at the age of 80, and she was also an actress.
That's definitely a full life. You know what's gonna be crazy? Someday it's gonna be like if you live to be 106, it's gonna be like, oh, he died early. But not today. 106 today is fucking pretty old. That's like a lot of experiences that you have in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for a man, usually the men don't live as long as the women.
Yeah.
So 106, that is rare for a dude.
He also outlived his wife. She died when she was 84, I believe.
Damn, she was alone for like 20-something years.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if she was the same age as him, which she probably wasn't. She's probably younger.
Absolutely. Next up, we have Tawny Katine.
Tawny Katane,
born.
Right? That was Catan. I thought maybe.
Some people say Katine. Some people say Catan. So I guess it depends on if you're West Coast or East Coast. I've heard it said both ways, but she was born Julie E. Katine. She is most famous for being a video babe or video vixen back in the 80s, gaining widespread recognition for her appearances in numerous rock music videos, including Rats, Back for More, and Whitesnake, Still of the Night, Here I Go Again, Is This Love, and The Deeper the Love. When she was a teenager, she dated and moved in with Rats guitarist Reuben Crosby. She had an affair with O.J. Simpson while he was married to Nicole Brown Simpson.
One sec, rewind the tape. You said when she was a teen, she moved in with like a grown-ass man?
They were both teenagers, so...
Okay, all right. That sounded all bad. Sorry, keep going.
She had an affair with O.J. Simpson while he was married to Nicole Brown Simpson, which came out during his infamous trial. She married Whitesnake lead singer Corbin Coverdale and divorced him a year later. Then she finally married baseball player Chuck Finley, or Finley. It is Finley. She starred in TV shows such as WKRP in Cincinnati. She also appeared in TV shows such as Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. She also voices Annabelle in the animated show Eat the Cat. She starred in the popular 80s comedy Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks and the 80s horror film Witchboard. Tani struggled with addiction, having appeared in Celebrity Rehab, and had some dealings with the law because of her addiction. She died at the age of 59. Cause of death has yet to be determined. There you go.
All right. Carlos, you have an announcement?
This is a special announcement, and it'll be a surprise to you guys when I eventually get around to dropping stuff off for you. But I know we've talked about EBG oil and candles for a while now. If you're tired of hearing about it, I don't really care because I'm supporting my sister and her business, and it's an awesome business, and she did something special for all of us. All right, and so hopefully I can convince her to do something special for our listeners besides the discount. But I hope that she makes this into something more permanent. But
Holy shit. Describe for the audio folks what you're holding up.
I am holding up a candle that is the Beathen BTI candle, but it has my name on it. And so I have something for all of you gentlemen that has all of your names on it. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to like focus on the right thing, but it's not doing it. And it's the scent is called Blackest of Black Musk. and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I will
it's gonna smell like black nutsack all up in your home.
Yeah, so it literally has
I love it.
Our logo on it, around it, along with the ABG logo, which is dope. And it's a 15-ounce candle that lasts for 135 hours of burn time. It includes the blackest afros, shea butter, and other black essence. I'm just saying, it's the blackest fucking candle ever.
It's our first merch.
Yeah, hopefully I can convince her to make this, because goddamn it smells good. Hopefully I can convince her to make this into like a more permanent candle for our listeners and stuff. So I'm trying to find a lighter. But I think it's I know what smell it is, but it's an excellent smell, and I think it's pretty dope, and it's really cool that she put all of her names on it. So all of your names are on the candles. You all each get one. I'll drop them off hopefully sometime this week. If not this week, then next week. But yeah, she dropped by earlier this week and dropped these off. And I finally got to give her like a really good hug. First time I got to give her a hug since the funeral. So yeah, thank you very much, Daria and Elisha and EBG Oil and Candles for giving us sort of like a special edition candle. I really appreciate it. That's really fucking cool.
Did that fucking touch it, man? Like, damn, I'm about to shit. The feeling warm fuzzies.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
For people up in the vault right now, say if you would like to get our candle. Like, let us know if you would be down to purchase this candle, and we'll see if we can run kind of a business deal with EB team.
Yeah, and she actually had a question for.
Let them know there's an audience out there for it.
Yeah, especially the listeners that are listening. Obviously, you're fucking listeners. I hate when I say stupid shit like that. Anyway, if let us know if you want to get because they can do customized. Obviously you get the BITA logo, but there's a place where it says my name on it, Cronus. If you would like to have the name of your favorite podcaster on the podcast or your own personal name on there, message us and let us know. Because if you just want to have it one of our names on it, then you can do that. If you want to have your own name on it, then they can possibly do a customized field as you order to do that. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat, but it's always in the BG Oil and Candles is always in the description of the podcast. If you're listening to this, just go to the description. It's a BG. All the spelling is there. It's IBEJI Oil and Candles, all one word, obviously, .com. And that's their website and how you can order. And also the Jesus Christ, you get 15% off. But I don't have the thing up right now. Shit. Give me
You'll find it.
Yeah, give me a second and I'll pull it up.
And it was
that's hot shit.
Cat, anus, titty, 6932 or something like that. I don't know.
What the? That's the most random shit, bruh. Oh
I'm
shit!
Just giving out codes.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
The code is
It's up, down, down.
The code is V as in Victor, D as in Delta, 638, N as in November, and that will give you 15% off of any order over $35. Once again, that's V as in Victor, D as in Delta, 638, N as in November, for 15% off of any order over $35, and it's a BG Oil and Candles, IBEJI, oilandcandles.com, and it'll all be in the description of the podcast, so it'll make it even easier, even with the promo code.
Yeah, if we get them to do it, the Musk might be a good graduation present. That's the next holiday or Father's Day that's coming up.
Yeah, this would be a great Father's Day present. I'm just saying. It would be great.
Hell fucking yes.
Oh, here we go. My special lighter. I got like this USB lighter. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Takes no. Yeah.
Basically, a miniature lightsaber in your hand.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I feel like now they keep mine up like pretty high, so I'm always scared my dogs are gonna like somehow get on there and turn it on and start a fire and burn our house down.
Yeah, that's a legit.
You know, it has like a on and off switch, but like it seems like it's very easy to turn it on. And then
this one has a cover on it, so they have to like uncover it to like.
Okay, yeah,
now you can't press it. This one.
All right, let's jump on in, guys. Blue, what do you want to start with this week, man?
Oh, shit, I need to look at the list.
I thought you were going to be ready. I thought I was going to set it up.
No.
If you're not ready, then Kronos, tell us a little bit. You say you beat the second boss in Returnal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this game is fucking highly stressful. Like, my palms usually don't sweat when I'm playing video games. Usually my hands get cold for some reason. K-Mac will tell you this. It's kind of weird, but yeah, playing this game is so stressful because I beat the first boss, wasn't really a big deal, and the second boss just kept like fucking me up, and then I kept like fucking up on the way to get to the boss, which it's interesting. Like once you play like these rogues-like or rogues-like game or whatever, it's interesting because like when you die, you lose basically almost everything, except for like some certain characteristics that you earned. You definitely lose like all your equipment, except for like some certain things, and then everything changes on the map. So the whole map is just like randomized. So even though you might have thought you knew like where all your power-ups were, where your favorite gun was, you know, where the boss is, all that shit has changed when you die.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's times where like you know, you get to the boss, you might almost kill the boss, but then you come through, you die, and then everything resets, and you try to like get back, you know, try to find all the shit that you wanted to find, but everything's different, and then you might get fucking murdered immediately after you come back, and it's fucking embarrassing. It's happened to me like multiple times. Like I think the first boss, I think I died maybe twice on the way to get to them, and then now I'm on like death number like I think 13, and I just beat the second boss, and it opened up a whole new area, which is great. But yeah, the game is really fun, but it's like it's challenging. But like when you die, I never felt like the game was cheating when I died. Like 100%, I always felt like it's my fault. I could have done something different. I could have left the area, or I could have played the game like much more smart to beat like the basic enemies and definitely the bosses. Like the boss that kept killing me, I was just like, I need to like just really sit down and like actually like play. This is how ridiculous it was. I don't know if I said it last time, but I finally figured out that there's like ways where you can extend your life, but they don't tell you how to do it in the game. All right, it's just some shit that you happen to pick up that gives you kind of like an extra life. And so what happened was I was playing the game and I picked up all this shit. And I got to the second boss, and then I was like, all right, I don't have a lot of life, but you know what? I'm gonna go at him. So I'm fighting him. I got him down. I got like one of his life bars down. And then I died. I'm like, oh, you know what? I died. Whatever. Then I came back to life. I was like, oh, I came back to life. And then I got all my life back, and I fucked up again. Like I was already in my defeatist mindset. And then I came back to life, and I fucking died again. Like immediately, I was like, dude, what is going on here? And then I think it was like a third time, and I was like, all right, I just gotta put it down. Like I died of the same boss 3 times in a row. Like literally. Like, it didn't reset anything. It was, like, me literally in the same room 3 times in a row.
Was it, like, fighting the one Valkyrie in God of War?
Uh-uh.
Was it hard like that, or is it a different
No, it wasn't that hard. It just takes some it takes precision in the game, but you have to really be aware of like your surroundings. So in God of War, when you're fighting Sigrun, I think it's Sigrun.
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Yeah, when you're fighting her, you have to always focus on her and see what she's doing, right? But the problem with Returnal is that a lot of things that the enemies shoot out are kind of slow moving, and you might forget like where they're actually going, like where all like the dots and shit are going as they're like queuing up another attack. So you have to like really pay attention, like your surroundings, where the existing attacking things are, and then where the next attack is going to come from. If you don't take all that shit into account, you're going to continuously get murdered in this game, and it's not going to be any kind of fun.
Do they reward you for being aggressive and ambitious?
Yes, they do. If you're playing aggressively, you pick up more of this, like basically like the monetary system, and you can go to like a fabrication station where you can definitely upgrade your gear and then get like power ups. So you can buy this thing. I'll spoil a part of it only because I didn't understand this when I was first playing the game. If you find a thing called I think it's like the astronaut. It's like a little trinket. If you get the astronaut, it basically means if you die, you come back to life immediately.
Oh, nice.
So if you ever see the astronaut trinket, get it, buy it, whatever. They don't explain that shit I just noticed when I died, and I was like, oh, I came back to life, and the trinket's what brought me back. But yeah, you can definitely use the money towards doing that. But if you're just playing like for a while I was playing the game, I'll play it kind of safe. I'll just shoot everything kind of far away, and I wouldn't pick up all these little like all the money things. But the money things they go away after a few seconds. So if you run as fast as fuck and just like run and gun, you can do it. But at the same time, like as you're running and gunning, there's like the enemies can surround you, and once you're surrounded, you're pretty fucked. Like it'll show you like where the attacks are gonna come from, but like turning in that direction, it's kind of it's kind of a problem because as you're turning, like these things are moving so slow, you don't know exactly when it's going to hit you. And so it's just like you're better off just kind of like positioning your body so like everything's kind of in front of you rather than... It's just like it's the same thing in like God of War. You remember in God of War when like things are coming at you and it points like the direction of like where something's coming from?
It's the little red sensor.
Yeah, it's just like that, but it's like as it's coming in, like you don't know how fast or how far away, even though like it changes colors and shit like that, but it's kind of like it's a basic warning system. So I would never rely on it. It's just to like basically know like, hey, it's coming from that general direction. But yeah.
Well, it still sounds like a really good game. I think you're the only one who goes playing it right now, unless you are, Blue.
No, I haven't picked it up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was just checking out the trailer right now, and I remember this game at E3 when they were showing it. And it was like it looked fucking crazy, like aliens and fucking like. It almost looked like a horror game in some of the clips. Like there's a part where she like goes into her house but she's still like her space outfit, but then like the house fucking like blacks out and there's like an alien or some shit in it. It almost looked like she went into the upside down and she started fighting against the Gorgamonger or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's the fucking enemies are pretty creepy. The sound is creepy. Everything's fucking creepy in this game. So
nice. When
you play it, it's like everything's fucking dark. You don't know where the fuck you are, and then it gets really weird because it brings up like memories of her, and then all of a sudden there's like shit from Earth on this alien planet, and it gets like really weird. And like the astronaut person is like crazy creepy too. So, yeah.
She kind of looks like she looks like the I think the lead named actress, the actress from Glee that played the coach, who kept giving the group
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
No. Jane Lynch.
Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Lynch. That's what it is. Jane Lynch.
But I thought, it is Jamie Lynch, or it's Brienne of Tarth that's playing it?
No, neither.
No, it just looks like her.
Or sort of. Yeah.
It looks. I mean, she looks kind of like Jane Lynch, I guess, but she doesn't look like Brienne of Tarth or Gwendolyn Christie. At least not in my opinion.
What's crazy though, because like in the game, like you see your dead bodies. And you can pick up like you can pick up like their audio recordings, and it's like it's really creepy like listening to the recordings. Like at one point she had to kill herself, and it was just like, all right, that's fucked up.
Also, you think of that movie with Tom Cruise that Die, Rent, Repeaters, whatever the fuck it's called.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except everything's randomized, so you can't just like do the same death loop over and over again.
Oh,
Also,
shit.
before Death Loop, so yeah.
That's right. That comes out later this fall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the wheel a little bit. I've been waiting all goddamn year. It feels like for Resident Evil 8. I've got sunk my fucking teeth into it. Old Ninja, did you get this yet or no?
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, I know Stitch has. So let me break down a few quick things. I mean, this game's selling like fucking hotcakes. Capcom reported over 3 million in like 3 days or something, which is basically like a God of War or a Spider-Man game. They were also saying 80% of the sales are on PlayStation, so it definitely skews more PlayStation.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this, many times. Like this franchise, yes, it's had some exclusives on like GameCube and some other stuff way back in the day, but this franchise heavily skews PlayStation wise.
Well, it used to be only on PlayStation, right? Like when the first Resident Evil was only on PlayStation.
Yeah,
the very first one, yeah. But there were some what was it? Resident Evil 0 and 4. Some of those were like GameCube. Go ahead.
Zero was on the GameCube. 4 was on the GameCube and the Wii, I guess. But then all of them are ported to everything now. Like no matter what, you can play on every system pretty much now.
Yeah, but those were like way, years and years and years ago. But
yeah.
And then Capcom was also saying like they just had record fucking profit years last 4 years in a row because of really Monster Hunter and fucking Resident Evil. So props to fucking Capcom for just doing quite well. But let's jump into this game, goddammit. This shit is spooky. It feels. Oh, hold on. Let me start from the very beginning. If you haven't fucking played Biohazard, Resident Evil 7, goddammit, you're doing yourself a disservice. They literally tell you at the very fucking beginning of this game, do you want to watch a recap of 7? And so, like, don't fuck around. Listen to people who played 7. Play 7 because it jumps off right pretty much like a few months after the main story of fucking 7. Like, it's a direct fucking sequel, and you're going to be a little lost at times if you just skip fucking 7. Like, I'm just flat out. But all that being said, I fucking love it. Like, you jump in, it's all first person, just like 7 was. Main character, Ethan, just like in 7. And you don't know what the fuck is going on, because things are moving so fucking fast with the plot right off the bat. And then almost immediately after the first initial, like, oh my god fucking moments, you're in this fucking Eastern European fucking town, and spooky shit is happening, and you're solving puzzles and doing inventory management and getting up to Big Titty Lady D and her fucking daughters. So it throws you right in, but there's a good pacing of suspense and all that shit. I'm only about 5 or 6 hours in. Some people have already like jammed through it and beat it with multiple runs and shit, but I'm slowly taking my time and like, getting the right items and whatnot and unlocking doors and figuring out fucking shit. But so far, so fucking good, man. This is a potential game of the year already for me, and I'm maybe about a third through.
Have you got to the part that the demo was, I guess, what am I trying to say? Have you gotten to a part that is part of the demo that they released?
Yeah, I've passed most of that.
Is that like
I'm still in the castle, but I passed like the stuff that I saw from the demo, even though I didn't play it, but like I watched some people play through the, 30-40 minute demo, something like that. Yeah, so I'm further than that.
So I do have a couple of concerns. One of the things that apparently you can beat the game in 10 hours. So I'm just like, that's not a whole lot of gameplay for a $60 game. Granted, it does come with mercenaries. Once you beat it, you're supposed to unlock the mercenaries mode, similar to Resident Evil 4. But then there's a component to the game that's missing. Art Reverse apparently didn't launch with the rest of the game, even though they told us last year that it was going to be available day one, and we just had a beta for it like a month ago, and now it's nowhere to be seen. Now I'm seeing reports this may not come out until like fall.
Yeah, so let me address that last point. This is very similar to Resident Evil 3 Remake in terms of a little bit of a delay from the very launch of the game, which was like single player only with Jill, to it was a really crappy version, but that resistance mode, it wasn't like right away. You know, so it was a little bit delayed. I'm fine with them taking their time because there's going to be single player DLC more than likely, just like they did for 7. They have a bunch of DLC, and I'm still working my way through some of those DLCs. But if it's 4 or 5 months from now that they drop Reverse and they take their time and it's a better product than Resistance, I'm all for it. And then to your first point, I really think it depends on the type of player you are. I think if you're like super duper knowledgeable of the map and everything, maybe 10 to 12, you know, give or take. But then I feel like RE3, if you were super knowledgeable, took around that same time. And even Resident Evil 2 Remake was similar time. I feel like 7 was a bit longer, somewhere in the 16 to 18 hour range, give or take. But again, you know, some games are shorter than others. So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this short gameplay, the thing was, at least with Resident Evil 2, if you beat the game with one character, that was like a 10 to 12 hour game, but then you had a whole nother character with a whole different storyline, which gave you another 10 to 12 hours, depending on what you do. And there's 2 versions of your second run, because you could do a second run of a character, which was actually different, or you can do what they call like a clean run, which is like a set, as if you're starting clean for Resident Evil 2. So it does give you a different experience based on what game you set, what version of the game you're kind of setting up, and that goes to both characters. And it didn't come with a multiplayer, and it came with free DLC for Resident Evil 2 versus Resident Evil 3, which they told you it was going to be a shorter hour completion, like I think 10 hours or less, but you get a free multiplayer component where it is 4 to 5. Where Resident Evil 7, I feel like there's some stuff missing a little bit. But
you mean for 8?
I'm sorry, 8. Yes, 8. 8 didn't have multiplayer. I don't think 8 had mercenaries, did it? Or 7. I'm sorry, 7 didn't have mercenaries. I don't think.
No, it did not.
Yeah, but it does have DLC though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but back to 2 though. I mean, I haven't completed my Claire run, but I certainly completed Leon all the way, and I'm more than halfway through Claire. It's not a completely different experience. It's slightly tweaked. Like, it's the same maps, but you might go into certain different rooms that you couldn't with Leon that you can with Claire and vice versa.
True,
but
and
it's
your
not
story is
completely
different.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's slightly.
you have different characters. Yeah,
like, you're still going to encounter Mr. X. You still got to, do the final stuff. Like, it's
true,
tweaked a little bit from your perspective, and you see it in the middle of 2, where you Leon looks at Kate through a gate and says, "Hey, what have you been up to?" and vice versa with Claire. It's changed a little bit, but it's not like a 180.
Well, it's not completely, but each character has a different set of weapons, which vastly changes how you play. Like Claire and Leon, they do not have the same weapon set.
True.
Which is a definitely different game experience. Also, if you're playing through Claire, it gives you the option, because if you beat it with Leon, you get a chance to either play a clean run with Claire or a second run where things are different, where it's slightly more challenging. And I guess the story is kind of slightly different. I'm playing a second run with Leon right now, and it's definitely more challenging than I played with Claire, because I played with Claire first. Yeah. So, I mean...
And again, 2 Remake was nominated for a Golden Egg Club. We both love that game. That was solid. Like I said, I keep encouraging folks, because it's in a totally different perspective, to play 7. I'm already recommending 8, because so far so fucking good. It's strong, and then it makes me love this franchise. Oh, I forgot to mention. So Capcom also talked about the whole franchise for Resident Evil has surpassed the 100 million mark. So it's doing quite well as a franchise. I didn't know it was putting up those kind of numbers. That's great.
Well, dude, there's a shit ton, because it's not just like 0 through 8. There's also side
spinoffs
games Yeah, like Operations and Revelations 1 through 2, and there's episodes for that shit, which is actually some of those are free. So there's a shit ton of fucking Resident Evil games out there.
No
So
doubt. I'm just saying
I'm not surprised
this,
by it all. By that at
this
all.
one this one selling faster than 7, and selling, like I said, like a Spider-Man or God of War game. So far, people are really enjoying it. Like I said, some people have already basically done some speed runs. The Twitch numbers and streaming numbers are super high up there. It was up there with some first-person shooters of Call of Duty and all of that. Again, this new character, Lady D, that Capcom introduced with all her fucking thickness and vampire, lusciousness and all that, it seemed to fucking work. Right? Horny fucking weebs are into this game.
I can't wait till we can go back to cons again. I'm looking forward to seeing you cosplays live and in person.
Oh my god!
One of my homegirls, she dressed up as Daniela, one of the daughters, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. Like she looked pretty badass.
Yeah, I saw it too. Fabulous and Nerdy, right?
Yeah, she did it. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking dope. I think she can probably pull off Madam D, but she'll get there. Gotta get comfortable being at that clothes. Well, I guess if she does what I want to do.
They got the porn mods. Day one.
Oh yeah, I saw them. I was like, whoa, like, and it was on YouTube too. When I saw it, I was like, wait, what? Like, what? Like,
got her in lingerie.
The one I saw wasn't in lingerie at all.
Yeah, yeah, man.
What's the amount of time you put in the game so far?
I think maybe 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, give or take. I want to play it tonight, but I'm here. But yeah, like 4 or 5 hours. I've beaten, for those who have played the game, I've beaten all 3 daughters, and I need to get one more statue mask in the castle. So, just working my way through. There was one fucking challenge. It was like a piano shit. That was like, if you can read music, play these notes. I was like, I can't fucking read this shit. Y'all got me fucked up.
I can read English.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, shit. That's what Google's for, man. Look that shit.
Yeah, I looked that shit up. I was like, fuck y'all. Nah, but so far so good. And I know Stitch is playing it, so hopefully when he comes back on, he'll give his review. I think he's a little further than me actually, so we'll see.
So,
go ahead.
There's something I don't know if it's on the list, but it's something I've noticed recently here in the Bay Area and like the rest of the United States. Y'all seen that they're saying there's like a worker shortage?
Oh yeah.
Have y'all seen that?
Barely. I've only seen it like some people say certain industries short on workers, where other ones are fine. So
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's usually like the fast food industry, some restaurants, stuff like that. They're saying that basically nobody wants to work anymore. Like they're putting on like this really disparaging shit about workers, but it's like if you can't pay, if you're just gonna pay them poverty wages, why the fuck would they come work for you again? Like I don't understand why certain businesses decide that these workers need to be loyal when you fucking fired them all for not having enough money last year. Like it's so incredibly insulting to workers.
Wait,
It's
what
crazy.
is that noise, man?
And,
Yeah, what was that?
It was Blue opening up some Oban.
Goddamn. Okay, sorry.
That'll be open. Take one out.
Yeah, they need to raise the wages. Like I don't understand like the problem here. Like people want to talk about capitalism. Like I really hope that they don't fuck around with capitalism again with the federal government and give these corporations and businesses more money to survive. Fuck that. You give the money to survive to retain the workers. They didn't do that. They fired their workers. Now they're complaining that the workers aren't coming back. Well, you fucking fired them, and you want to pay them the same poverty wages that you did before while they were making a profit. And they were actually got the money from the federal government that was supposed to go to you, and they didn't do it. So you know what? You can go fuck yourself. And I was looking up, like, because people were saying that, oh, well, it's because people are getting these enhanced, unemployment benefits. I'm like, okay. So I looked up what the enhanced unemployment benefits were on the federal side, because usually the federal government doesn't pay unemployment. It's usually up to the states, usually. The enhanced unemployment benefits from the federal government is only $300 a week. That's $7.50 an hour if you're working a 40-hour work week. If you can't pay more than that, like your company's it's going to go away, and somebody else is going to realize that, hey, I can pay my workers more than that amount. And it's going to give them an incentive to come back. And it also gets into the realm of, people wanted to have this whole, raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I actually don't think that raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour is really the problem. I think it's a bait and switch. It's three-car money. Like, yeah, you can raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, but if you're still not paying your workers benefits, if you're still not giving them, time off that they need, if they're not getting, just regular paid time off, fucking parental leave, shit like that, like that's a real problem. Like, why is nobody talking about that? Like, cause yeah, $15 an hour sounds great, but meanwhile, look at the cost of healthcare in America. It's fucking gigantic. So most companies, like, they don't really care about the, paying these benefit wages because nobody's talking about it. It's fucked up.
I was just gonna say I'm with you on your perspective on this, and at the same time, I'm also gonna say that this past year and 2-3 months, all the essential workers, all the people who are customer facing, like in the real world customer facing, they saw the worst side of humanity. They saw the ugliness of fucking Americans literally fighting in stores, sneezing on people, not wearing a mask on purpose, coughing on people, getting into fucking fights, being jackasses all the way the fuck around. So not only was it like slave, basically, wages and shit, but you also had people going ape shit crazy on them more so than they normally do, like for months. And so, like, people are human beings. They got a fucking breaking point and the threshold. If you're gonna spit on me in the height of a pandemic over and over and over again for $7 an hour, I might tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I mean, obviously I'm in a different spot than most people, but I mean, I'm not doing that fucking shit. And I don't think they should be forced to be able to do that shit. Like, put up with that kind of shit. If you look at, like, all these, companies that are making, huge amounts of profits in America. Like, look at, like, Walmart and, like, McDonald's, Burger King, all these other companies. Like, look how much profit they made over last year. Have they raised their wages at all? No. So to me, those companies need to go away. Like, seriously. That, like, when I talked about it, probably not on this podcast, but I talked about it on Balance Exchange. It's fucking wage theft. It's wage theft. If you are literally paying poverty wages at the same time that you're having a windfall profits for the company, it's wage theft. It should be fucking illegal, because you're literally stealing their wages. That they're doing the work for you, and you're collecting the wages that you're not paying them through profits. It's fucking wrong.
And I'm just gonna also say this too. We also even know from just a purely selfish health benefit side, it's crap food too. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's not healthy. It's bad for public health for you to be eating fucking Big Macs and shit. It's not good for the economy or fucking health. I don't know. Yeah.
One thing crazy too is that, like, with the pandemic and everything, like, a lot of companies, they wouldn't allow their employees to work from home. Like, with the pandemic, like, they're able to build that infrastructure where their employees could work from home, and now there's a lot more. Some companies are making it so, like, the employees have the option to work from home, but some are reverting back to, we're going to want you to come back into the office. But I think it's fucked up. I mean, you have that infrastructure built now, like, you should utilize it. I kind of, like, they should do like a swing shift type thing where, maybe 3 days out of the week or 2 days out of the week you actually come to the office. But as far as, like, going to the office, like, people are quitting if they can't continue to work from home, which I think that shit's correct. If you can do the same work from home instead of commuting an hour and a half to a building that you're going to sit in for a couple of hours and then drive another hour and a half back home, like, that's a lot of stress on the body just doing that fucking commute.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. So the company that I work for, if you know me, you know who I work for. But I've been working from home for like 10 years now, so I was never in danger of having to go back in the office anyway. But I had to go in occasionally, and they made it so that now they put me in a group to where I will never have to go in, like, basically ever again. But like I think like yesterday there was like an email that went out and like it was from the CEO and they were like we're gonna open up to 20% capacity being in we're gonna open up our offices again basically, and it's for if you want to go in you can go in, but if you don't want to go in for whatever reason, then just stay at home. Like you don't need to tell us an excuse, just don't go in. But there's some people that need to go in the office and it's understandable. Some people do. So if you want to go in the office, you can, but for whatever reason, you don't have to go in. And I think that's probably the right approach to take if companies still have corporate real estate for the workers to go back into. Not all places do. Like the company I work for, they're shedding like a lot of their real estate. So I think that's the right move.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. It's obviously, things change from state to state and region to region, but treat people fucking well. Like that, I think that's the bottom line. Treat people as well as you possibly fucking can. Your employees literally are the reason that you have a business, and so.
I was gonna say, the advent of the Karen showed up in 2020. And the truth really is, Karens have always been around.
Yeah, they've always been
around. Oh, yeah.
They've always been around. The difference is they've been more videoed and photographed and basically caught on camera more so last year. And a lot of people were like, why would I want to go back to that when I can stay at home and just collect and maybe learn something else and not come back and do a different trade or, find a different career. Because there was a lot of free schooling that was going on. We talked about it in the podcast. There was like 3-month courses that were free that were normally like hundreds of dollars that you could easily done. There's a lot of people offering video services to help you either do resume touch-ups or all this stuff for free. And dealing with people because they felt that they were entitled to something, or because they felt like they didn't have to follow the rules, or because they were making up shit just so they could be different. That shit was just unnecessary, and a lot of people don't want to go back to that. Like, I was literally watching some lady talking about how she had a doctor's note about how she couldn't wear a mask, and her doctor told her so, and the girl's like, well, where's your note? She's like, well, doctor told me so. I was like, oh my god, where's your note then if it proves that you can? If you ain't got no note, you need to put in mask or leave. It's like, well, then go get your manager then. And it just turns into this, that stuff is happening across the country.
Yeah.
And it's just,
it's
irritating.
It's interesting because when you're at Target, you will hear an announcement over the PA system saying, if you don't want a mask, let us know, and we'll have a shopping team or whatever go out and pick up items that you need and purchase items for you, and basically do like having your own little personal assistant pick up your shit for you and just wait outside and then bring it out to you. And that's another big thing that grew out from this pandemic is the whole not secret shopper, but mobile shopping. Like you can order stuff through the Target app,
Instacart,
go to the front, say you're here. Basically like Instacart, yeah. And bring the stuff out to your car. Even a lot of restaurants do that too. The whole curbside pickup, that grew pretty big popular too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think even though some of the chains will offer that, not all of them do it, but most of them do. Like Target, I think Walmart does it too, where you order online, you just pull up, someone comes out to you and says, what's your name, where's your code or whatever, you tell them and they come to you, they load up your car, load up your trunk, and then they walk away and say thanks, and you're gone. Easy.
Yeah, let's be clear. Karens have existed for the longest time. This is the reason why Emmett Till got murdered, was because of fucking Karens. So, and these weak ass people that cannot be inconvenienced in the slightest, are just. I don't understand. They've never had any kind of hardship, and then once they get it, they need to find help with the threat of murder from the police for people, and it's just the fuck is wrong with you? You're barely even a human being to me. Seriously, you're basically subhuman to me.
Yeah, the worst was the bird calling woman, where she said the guy was threatening her and blah blah blah, and the guy's like, I'm just sitting here fucking watching birds. What the fuck are you talking about? He just wanted her to put her dog back on a fucking leash.
Dude, that one was messed up because apparently he worked for Marvel. Apparently he was a writer for Marvel, and then her case was getting dropped or something. It was just reported on. She's basically not going to get any kind of penalties.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
she's not.
And there's like Lemonade Woman and the Oakland Barbecue Chick. I think the Oakland Barbecue Chick was the one that really sparked off the whole Karen name going off.
oh, Barbecue Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just all bad, man.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
don't
it
get
was
like the whole anti-mask. Well, I guess in California we're supposed to lift our mask mandate on June 15th or something like that.
15th. I think it's the
Yeah.
15th.
I'm probably gonna still mask for like a little while longer, but it gets to a certain point to where I'm protecting you assholes that are not getting vaccinated. You're not protecting me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Honestly, well, you sort of are if you're wearing a mask, right? Because if you got vaccinated, that's the way to go, right? Because there's definitely this thing is mutating. We all know this. There's a fucking crazy triple mutant variant in India. If you want to pretend that it's not gonna come to America, well, guess what? If you want to talk about the China virus, if people keep saying the China virus, it fucking started in likely China, and it came all the way over here. So let's not make the same fucking mistake by we know that there's variants out there. Just get vaccinated. Hopefully it'll protect us from the variants. And if it doesn't, then hopefully they'll be able to get a booster shot, which I'm totally willing to do. But people they're so stupid about it. They think that, oh, well, I'm probably not going to die. Therefore, I don't really care. But it's like, you can still pass on to somebody that can die from this or get, significantly degrade their life, which is people, they're so selfish. It's the hyper individualism in America needs to go away.
I'm gonna say that there's a variant in Florida, I think, right now, and I can't remember. There's another state that has like the same variant that's going around in Europe. So like these variants are already coming here. So mask up and vaccine up, and do the right thing. Like, don't just think about yourself and think about other people when it comes to like wearing your mask and getting vaccinated.
Yeah. Learn from the Umbrella Corporation. The T virus happened. Like, look, you got to take things seriously. Don't listen to Welker.
Well, you can't.
Wesker, sorry, my bad.
You can't use that. You can't use that as an analogy, since the whole T virus was a way to try to cure a disease. And
That's right.
Yeah, the T virus was supposed to cure a disease as well as prolong life.
That's true.
That went all bad.
Well, if you're a zombie, your life is really prolonged. So
it really is.
Yeah, but now you have a craving for human flesh forever.
Now we got vampires and we got lichens. So, it all works out. Big titty lichens, too.
Wait, does 8 take place in the past, or is it like just a different country that it takes place in?
It takes place in great question. It takes place in a different country. So you're definitely in like Eastern Europe. Yeah. I don't know the specific country yet. Maybe that gets revealed very soon. But it's in modern day, give or take. But like I said, play 7, which I think is still in like the late 90s or early 2000s, and this is a few months later, so semi-modern times.
Yeah, I thought it was later because Chris is older. He has it looks like he has gray hair in part 8. So
yeah, he definitely does, but I haven't gotten to the part of the story where it explains that it could have been drug-induced why he has that versus age-induced. I'm not sure.
Fucking stress.
Yeah, I mean, to be real, he's been stressed out by zombies for a while. Especially if you play part 5 and 6. Part 5 and 6, almost everyone that's kind of close to him gets either fucked up or separated and comes back all jaded. And he even had his memory partially fucked up. So he's had a lot happen to him. So I can see why he'd have gray hair.
Wait till you see what happens to fucking Ethan. That boy been through a lot. We'll see. Let's circle it back to some movie stuff. Did y'all see the trailer for Venom: Let There Be Carnage? It finally dropped. What y'all think of this? Don't everybody jump at one time.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it looked okay. I'm trying to type the subjects as they come out. I thought it looked okay. It looked just as good or bad as the first trailer. So I'll leave it. I mean, the last Venom movie was a surprise hit. It actually wasn't that bad. It's still weird that they're not talking about Spider-Man. It's weird as fuck. I'm just gonna put that out there. But it looks just as good as the last one, to me. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you're
I
good.
I agree. Like when I was watching it, because the first one, when the trailer first came out, I was like, I don't know about this movie. It doesn't look that great, and the movie it did pretty well. It was pretty decent, and I kind of get the same vibe for this trailer. Like it seems cool, but I don't know. I agree. Like since they're not talking about Spider Man, but then like having comments in there. I mean, I really want to see how this all plays out because from what I remember from playing at least like the games, like Cronus is like doesn't he come from Venom? From Venom? Isn't he like one of his
Yeah,
offspring? Or
he shits him out.
another?
Yeah.
He literally shits him out in jail.
Okay, that's what I thought. But no, I mean, nah, I'll still give it a chance. I mean, I'm not too impressed with the trailer.
Okay, what about you, Orange?
Yeah, I wasn't super impressed. I was definitely whelmed. It's just weird to me because if you watch the trailer, every time you see Eddie Brock in the trailer, it's like this weird comedic kind of buddy cop kind of vibe going on between him and the symbiote. But yet when you see Cletus, it's all like kind of business and it's supposed to be scary and stuff. So it's like this weird kind of vibe in the trailer, and I wasn't really like oh my god, like Carnage is coming. Like I'm just like, oh, okay, we get Carnage. Like what are you gonna do with Carnage? Like is he gonna be cool? Are they gonna show him killing people and being crazy, ripping people apart and talking about he's freeing them from like life by ripping them open? Or are we just gonna see some just more cartoony fights or whatever and whatever? So I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I definitely am not like excited. I will tell you this: I'm more excited for Black Widow than I am for Venom 2.
I will. I'll say this. The first one, I felt like there was a good amount of like, even though it was still PG-13, it wasn't an R. There was a good amount of like action and like you had the sense that he would eat somebody, and he did a couple times, even though it wasn't crazy bloody like in an R-rated movie. I think they'll go there again. It definitely feels like this is, truly a sequel set in the same city of San Francisco, like the first one. I'm on board. The biggest knock that I had for the first one was what was it? Riot was just fucking ass. I couldn't stand the Riot character. Yes, we already knew going in Spider-Man wasn't going to be in it, so I just kind of released that from my expectation list. But Riot was like a huge like albatross for that movie. I like Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson has played a crazy serial killer a few times, I think, but most famously in like Natural Born Killers. I know he's not going to go that far with this movie, but I want to see what Woody does because I already like Tom Hardy. But if they unleash Woody Harrelson to be a little wacky and the CGI for Carnage makes him look distinctive and more creative than the Venom symbiote, then I think this can work.
Yeah, I mean, I love Woody Harrelson. He's fucking amazing. I mean, he's in almost everything. He's in fucking Star Wars. Like, what the fuck? But I mean, I am confident in his acting abilities to go any which way, and for him to be, I'm probably going to be like super either impressed or satisfied with his performance. I may not be satisfied with the movie as a whole if it goes the route that I think it's going to go, but we'll see. We still have a few more months. We'll see what happens. We could be pleasantly surprised. They've been telling us that this may not have an MCU connection. I think they might be downplaying this because we've already seen in the Morbius trailer that we get fucking Vulture, and this may tie in more of that stuff through in the Venom film. So we don't know, and I'm hoping we get some kind of crazy reveal, maybe some kind of multiverse type thing. We'll see.
Are you guys okay, I guess, with him being an anti-hero again, really? I mean, this is a hero that sometimes kills or sometimes, does that whole lethal enforcer kind of route or whatever. Are you interested, I guess, in him playing that role again opposite Carnage, just killing people for fun?
I mean, what else were they going to do? It's called Venom. He's going to be the titular anti-hero / hero. I mean, what are they going to do? Have two villains and have them run amok? No, they're not going to do that. So it's going to continue on what they did before. You're going to be having Eddie try to pull the reins on the symbiote every now and then. Oh, like you can't eat the convenience store lady. You know, she helps us. Blah blah blah. Like we'll probably see a little bit of that. So I don't expect anything like vastly different with Eddie's character in this next iteration. So
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
certainly.
I hope to see some actual fucking like because the last one he ate a few people and this and that. Like it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. I guess there was that one scene inside the building when they're fighting like all the agency guys or whatever, and he's like ripping people apart. But I definitely hope to see more than that. I hope to see more of that from Carnage, just because he fucking whacked shit out of his fucking mind. He's gonna start murdering people just because they're in front of him. But I definitely want to see Venom kill some people. Like the one thing I can think of is from the last one was when he ate the guy in the inside the liquor store where he just fucking ate his head off or whatever not. But I want to see him do some badass shit, not just be some like superhero who's just not doing anything, basically just saving people without like eating somebody or killing somebody. Like somebody's got to die, in my opinion.
I don't think they have the balls or the rights to make this happen. But you literally could, if you could attach it to the MCU, lead up to King in Black with Null, the symbiote god, taking over Earth and some fun stuff down the line.
That shouldn't happen.
But but I don't think it's gonna. I agree. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they even have the rights to even have enough characters or enough ambition to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean they'd have to be part of the MCU, and there'd be a whole other shit that would have to happen. To be honest, it'd be cool, but I mean, like to be honest, like the King in Black is something that's really new. If we need to get fucking Secret Wars before we get fucking King in Black. I think Secret Wars would be like the way to go for like the next the Secret Wars, and then there's the other one with the goddamn the Secret Invasion. Those are other two really good storylines that I think that should be told first before this most recent.
Invasion is on the list, I think, in their queue, right?
Yeah, Secret Invasion will be TV first.
Yeah, I mean they're already introduced, the Skrulls, so we'll see. But yeah, it's a good point. I mean, if they could do it, that'd be great. But it's too early. They can't
do you have a rating on this?
13 again.
So I don't know. Did y'all see this? IGN had rap about how this film could introduce the King in Black and have him be the main villain for a third, like to complete a trilogy.
No.
To bring in someone, it's actually a pretty good read, and if they did it right, it could be really huge for the Venom series. If they just stand alone, but.
I disagree,
we'll
only because Null should be a comic spanning villain, not just Venom specific villain. It should take most of the world to take down Null together, not just Venom, because you can't be like, oh, Null's some crazy symbiote god that comes down to Earth, takes over the whole Earth, and then it's just Venom defeats him. And nobody else does anything. We all know that there's Avengers, there's fucking Captain Marvel, there's all these other entities that are on Earth. Why wouldn't they, help? And also, Null runs into Silver Surfer, which is like if you read the actual King in Black, it comes back into that. Like Silver Surfer comes in like the sort of the end part, and so does Thor. The really cool thing happens. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else because the series just ended, but. It needs to span it needs to be the comic. It needs to be the Marvel universe, not just Eddie Brock. So,
I'm with you specifically because Null is a space god far, far away.
Yeah,
like that's a story that starts in deep ass space with cosmic Marvel characters.
Even Nova.
Maybe maybe Eternals, maybe Nova. Maybe like Kronos mentioned, some Thor, some Silver Surfer can help. Kind of hint at that, but that's almost something like Thanos, where you have to kind of hint at it and talk about the cosmic Marvel universe for 4 or 5 movies. and then eventually his ass comes to fucking Earth and takes fucking over and fights everybody. But he's just too big and badass for it to just be like, oh, this random symbiote god came down to Earth randomly in the third movie, and he's got to fight Venom now. Nah, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Thanos, Galactus level, almost Celestial level. Actually, no, he's actually more dangerous than a Celestial. So yeah, he's a Celestial plus level villain. So
I mean, because I haven't really caught up, but I know he kills the Celestial, doesn't he?
He not even kills it, he fucking takes it over. Removes his head and takes him over. It's like a symbiote fucking Celestial.
It's a great story. And again, I would love to see it, but it would have to be done right over minimum 5 movies.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, listen, nobody. I was a huge Thanos fan, way like when I was a kid, my teenage years, way before there was an MCU. I never thought there would be Thanos in the fucking movies. Yeah. And the way they actually introduced him, I was like, oh shit, like they're actually gonna like do it right, like actually, push him in more and more and more. And they even when they went to like the Black Order, I was like, God damn, are you fucking for real? Like, so they need to pay that same sort of attention to Null that they paid, attention to Thanos. So
one thing they could do, because I mean they're building up the spider multiverse, like they could try to like build like a spider universe, because we have the Iron Man. It's a Marvel universe, but Iron Man kicked it off. But like we had something with Spider-Man and Venom and stuff kind of coming together and creating a whole Spider-Verse. Because I know in the next one, what's it, Lost Dimensions or No Way Home or something about that? Like, I don't know, Lost in the Bathroom, I can't think what it's called. But
God dang.
They talked about bringing in like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Garfield Spider-Man. So maybe they can somehow start tying this stuff in with like with Morpheus, and maybe have the vampires that eat the spider people and stuff. Like I like to see that all come together.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot for one movie, and
I'm talking about like a span of movies.
Yeah, I hope that the crazy amount of rumors we've heard for Spider-Man 3, I hope half of them are actually on film and accurate, and not people blowing smoke. Because some of these rumors have been wild as fuck all year. I take them all with a grain of salt. Are
we still getting that Madam? What's her name? That one spider chick. Not Spider Woman.
Madam Web?
Yeah, Madam Spider Web movie. I remember. Didn't we talk about that like last year?
Who fucking knows? Who knows?
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Let's switch it up a little bit. So we were talking about this in the chat a little bit, and I want to be respectful and careful, but there's something that just kind of confused the ever-loving fuck out of me. Earlier today on Twitter, Gal Gadot caught a whole lot of fucking hell for her comments, and I'm going to read them in their entirety in just a second. This is going with the Israeli and Palestinian latest violence that's going on. And some people would take issue with me saying violence rather than talking about the occupation, talking about terrorists, talking about state-sponsored terrorists. Violence, period, is what I'm just going to use that phrase, because I don't like people losing their fucking lives. But in any event, let me just read exactly what she said. And I need to hear from you guys, I guess, because I didn't interpret it the way the internet did. And that's not just me defending her because I like Wonder Woman or whatever. I feel like this got blown up because people are angry about other things. She says, quote, "My heart breaks. My country is at war. I worry for my family, my friends. I worry for my people. This is a vicious cycle that has been going on for far too long. Israel deserves to live as a free and safe nation. Our neighbors deserve the same. I pray for the victims and their families. I pray for the unimaginable hostility to end. I pray for our leaders to find the solution so we could live side by side in peace. I pray for better days." End quote.
What? Why are people mad at that? That's fucking... I would say it's damn near beautiful.
Well...
Like, okay. I mean, she wants peace is what I'm reading from her statement.
Yeah, but okay, it's like, so for some people that got mad at that, So I have only like a sort of a cursory glance of like how this shit all started. But from what I understand, it's like a real estate. It's a real estate issue with people that were Islamic that were given houses, and now they're trying to take it back. Like I guess the Israelis are trying to take like those houses back, sort of by force. And so for
Yes.
somebody to say that we want peace, like for her to say like we want peace now, after like they literally started the like the actual issue, I can understand on some level why people would get mad at it. But at the same time, like I get what she's trying to say. Yeah, like obviously you want peace. I totally get that, but at the same time, it's like if they would have just left the houses the way they were, like probably wouldn't have been a problem at all. But the whole region is, I'm drastically simplifying this shit, okay? Because these are like geopolitics, in the most complex region with geopolitics on Earth is that region. It's just like they need to come up with like a better solution, and it's not going to be an equitable solution to anybody, but also like the Jews living in the area was not equitable to the folks that like originally lived there. But at the same time, like what they went through obviously wasn't equitable to them because they were fucking getting murdered and fucking thrown in ovens and shit. So it's like, yeah, like all around it's all fucked up. But I think that there needs to be like a better solution. What that is, I'm not sure. But yeah, especially hold on, a caveat here. People might not understand. The main reason why people are probably pissed about what she said is because she used to be part of the Israeli army before she was an actor.
Which just to clarify, is mandatory.
Yeah.
Like you can't be an Israeli citizen of like older age, 17, 18 or whatever, and just say, oh, I don't want to go join. No, you are, it is mandatory and required that you serve in the Israeli military.
Yeah.
Just to put that out there.
And just another thing too, just in case people get fucking mad, that know me as my first name. My first name is actually in Arabic. I am not Muslim at all. I'm not religious. I'm actually an atheist. So I have no fucking skin in the game at any of this shit. I think the vast majority of religions are fucking silly as fuck to me. Y'all fucking silly ass shit that you believe in. Except for maybe there's like one. I forgot. It's not Hinduism. It's something else. That wasn't
maybe Buddhism?
Buddhism. Buddhism was like...
Buddhism's pretty chill.
Yeah, it's the least silly to me. The rest of them, they're all fucking silly as shit to me. So, yeah, I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not Islamic. I'm not Jewish. I'm not Christian. I'm an atheist. All right? It's ridiculous to me.
I feel like this, and again, I'm not trying to defend her. I understand it's a very complex situation with a whole lot of fucking history, the Holy Land. I get at a surface level, not that I'm a Middle Eastern expert on geopolitics. I'm not claiming to be. This is a pretty benign quote that I read. Like, it is not her advocating in the actual words, not what you feel about what's going on when you watch the news or because you spoke to someone back in that region of the world. What the actual words are saying doesn't indicate directly her promoting violence, wanting more bloodshed, dehumanizing the people in Israel or in Palestine. This is literally her saying, I pray for peace and I pray that they find a solution. Yes, I get the whole aspect of, well, so-and-so started it, and this is a retaliation, and children are dying. I get that. I just don't see from the actual words that I read where she is promoting more bloodshed. I don't see that.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not promoting more bloodshed, but it's, it's like, it'd be like, like after Japan bombed us. Well, actually, no, that's too extreme. That's too extreme. I'm not going to go there. But there's times where, like, somebody commits, like, an act. And he's like, oh, I want peace now. And it's just like, well, you didn't start with peace, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that's not, but also, it's not what she said.
Yeah, so, I'm just trying to stick to the words, because I think tensions are so fucking hot right now, and rightly so. There's children fucking dying. I get it. But I also think that it's a little misguided to direct all of your anger when she's not promoting violence from the words at her versus the leaders. You know what I mean? Of fucking militaries, the leaders of countries that have the ability to command and say, send a rocket here, invade this, take that away. We're going to continue to occupy. The leaders are the ones in control, not a movie star, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to Fareed Zakaria this Sunday on GPS on his take on
Yeah.
this, because I think he's like one of the most, when it comes to like geopolitics, like I trust what he says for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to his take this weekend.
Yeah, he's excellent. Again, I'm not trying to even necessarily do anything, but I feel like people need to calm down a bit, point fingers at leaders, and just read words.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna change. So, anybody else got anything else to say about that?
No, I was just looking at some of the tweets that people are saying back to her, and like a lot of it comes down to her being a former in the IDF or whatever for a couple of years. But like you said, like she didn't have a choice. Like she had to fucking do that. I seen her in her camo and she looked pretty fucking hot, just to say.
I mean,
Google that. Look that up.
so, you good?
Go ahead.
Oh, didn't you got anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Any save rounds?
I mean, I haven't really been paying too close attention to this. There's too much, information and history and whatnot, and so I've been kind of avoiding this because, to me, I don't see a solution anytime soon. Unfortunately, I feel like this is just gonna turn into something from bad to worse. Unfortunately, and even though what Prodigy was saying, like this is a movie star making these quotes, they still have, millions of people following them, millions of people taking what they say to be influential. So I can see why people may be upset. And I haven't read any of her responses, or I'm sorry, I haven't read any responses to her quote or anything. So I'm just hoping that the violence stops soon. But I have a bad feeling this could get worse.
Yeah, it might, but I mean, it's been that region's been fucked up for like the longest time. Like I said, I hope they fix it, but I mean, listen, if America got over, not got over. If America got through the Civil War with an equitable solution, then I think that region of the world can probably do something similar. That's all I'm saying. Even though it took a war, but that region's been at war for like how long? Even though it's been like kind of like a shadow war, it's like, come on, like
Very long.
let's figure it out as human beings, an equitable solution. Anyway, can we move on a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is also I didn't put on the list. I'm sorry. I'm notorious for doing this. I'll try to be better in the future. But do y'all watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver?
Very, very infrequently, but I usually see just clips when it like trends.
I tend to watch it or the highlights, but I missed last week's. So
Okay.
go ahead.
So last week's episode was one of the best episodes ever, and I'm gonna have to say like a public apology to my stepsister on this. Actually, it was kind of leading up to this anyway. Even before I watched the episode, because I have a daughter with type 4C hair. I'm just saying, this episode, like the main story was about black hair, and he went hard as fuck. I don't know who the fuck on his staff is black. I don't know how many people on his staff are black, but goddamn, was he using all the right words? I'm just saying, like everything that he was talking about, like weaves and fucking all kinds of like braids and all kinds of shit. I was like, man,
John Oliver, the British?
Yes,
Yeah, dude. If you've seen some of his stuff, he does go hard into the paint.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about like different kind. I was just like, bruh, whoo, like I had to like take a minute and like watch this dude like really break down like the problem with black hair in America and how like you can't have your own natural hair in America. And he talked about like the Crown Act and all that shit and like all these things. But the amount of depth that he goes into talking about like black hair was it was really in depth. It was fantastic. It's a problem that I think most white Americans don't even realize is even really a thing. Because people are. This is where I'm going to apologize to my stepsister. Is that like years ago she was talking about? She posted an article about how it's hard to have your own natural hair if you're a black woman in America, and it's an issue. As an employment, if you're getting employed, I'm just like, well, to me as a dumbass back then, Like if your hair looks fucked up, then it looks fucked up. Like, but that I wasn't thinking about like from her point of view. It's like if it's the way they naturally came, but then somebody's discriminated against you to make you to like, and makes you get a white hairstyle because they're not comfortable with your own natural hair. That's a problem. I get it now. I'm probably going to make a clip out of this, and so she can see this, because I think this is more substantial about me just like actually sending her a text like, listen, I'll put that shit in public. All right, sorry. So I get it now because I was thinking back, like I remember I tell the story all the time, like how I used to have long hair. I used to grow my hair. Like I grew my hair once I got out of the Marine Corps, and I remember like what I had like a little mini fro, and I remember like I would tell the story of hey, like I stopped doing it because I'm fucking lazy because I didn't want to keep like the upkeep was fucking too much. I was tired of picking my hair out, doing all that shit. It was too much. What I realized after watching that episode is the reason why I stopped doing it is because if I didn't pick out my hair and it wasn't fucking perfect, then somebody white would be like, his hair's fucked up. Because I definitely saw people that paid way less attention to their hair, that had straight hair, that had their hair all fucked up, and nobody would say a fucking thing. But I knew if I came into my office with nappy hair, somebody would say something to me. They definitely would. They definitely, 100% they would. And so, stepsister, I'm not going to call you by name, but yeah, I get it now. I totally get it. And the way that you have your hairstyle right now, I think it's beautiful, but I can see how people that are not of African descent will think that your hair is fucked up. And it's wrong, because it's the way, actually, the way she had her, the last time I saw her, the way that her hair is, it's not the natural way that it grows, but it is a African hairstyle. And that still is offensive to some, I guess, a bunch of white people. And it's fucked up. Could you imagine, like, if you went into like your job, and you combed your hair like a little bit, but it still has some strands flying out, and somebody said something to you about, hey, your hair looks kind of fucked up today. Like, this isn't up to our company standards. Meanwhile, if you just happen to grow your hair the way it naturally grows, and you have a protective hairstyle with African hair, and you're doing all the things you need to do to take care of your hair, and they're still getting mad at you for having your hair the way it naturally grows, or a protective hairstyle for your style of hair. And it happens in America.
This happened to my cousin. This literally happened to his job. He grew his hair out, and then he braided it, and they were like, oh, you need to change your hair. And he's like, why? Like, well, your hairstyle is associated with like the gangster mentality and the gangster stuff. And I'm like, dude, he grew his hair out for a year, and so the way he got his hairstyle was cornrows. So he got his hair cornrow, and it was clean. It was like super clean. I was like, oh shit, this actually looks nice. But his boss told him he had to change his hair, and he was like, well, yeah, we didn't want this, this kind of like outlook from our business. We're trying to, project this kind of image, and this kind of draws a negative image. I'm like, how does your hair do this? But yet you have people with pink hair, which is not a normal hair color, run around the fucking spot. So, but yet his cornrows, I'm like, dude, Bo Derek in the 1980s was a 6-foot blonde who wore cornrows, and everyone thought it was super progressive and super hot and all this shit. But yeah, you wear it in like, a public spot, and all of a sudden it's offensive.
Well, let's be clear. Your black ass wear it.
Yeah. I mean, for real.
I walked away, so I don't know what the topic is, but I'm just going to assume. But yeah, I mean, we see the same situations with kids in school where kids decide to get cornrows or get twisties or something like that, and they're sent home from the school telling them that they need to fucking cut their hair or something like that, or they can't graduate until they change their fucking hairstyle. It's like this person's a goddamn adult now. Like, why can't they fucking graduate? Like, we see shit like that all the fucking time, and there was a story I heard earlier. I'm not sure if this story you guys are talking about, where there was a girl who said she was going to start her own business, and she wasn't allow you to work there if your hair was straight. If your hair was straight or something, there's some excuse she gave, and then people started getting hella mad. She never said your hair had to be blonde or this color, this. There's just one little thing she gave, and people that's so offensive and blah blah. That means I can't work there. It's like, well, you can always change your hair if that's the case. It just pointed out how corporations want black folks to change their hair, and if one black lady says something similar, and she gets crazy heat about it.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
Were you about to talk about California? Because California is the only state that I'm aware of that actually passed legislation that you cannot be discriminated based on the style of your hair.
Yeah, that's
Cannot be reprimanded.
it's the Crown Act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, legislation about fucking hair? Like, come on.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that, you know, especially because I think that white people, they don't understand how much fucking time and effort it takes to do any black hairstyle. It takes fucking hours. Even if you just have like a basic, well, maybe not. Well, for like if you want to get something like fancy, like if you're talking about braiding your hair or putting in twists, it takes hours, literally hours. Even like a basic, like with Riley, if I'm in a hurry, like this happened literally fucking last week. I gave her a bath. She had to go to school, and I knew that I had 30 minutes before I had to leave. And I was like, 30 minutes, I'm cutting it fucking close, just to get her, you know, quote unquote presentable, you know, for school. It's like, but if it's a kid with straight hair, it's super easy to just fucking comb the hair and get him out of the fucking place. And even with like the 30 minutes that I had, because I fucked up, I cut myself short. I gave her a bath. I shampooed her hair, but I didn't have enough time to fucking actually like comb her hair out. I just had enough time to like actually like shampoo her hair, clean it, and then give her like a basic like hairstyle, like put in like the lock method, you know, because her hair was already wet, then oil and cream. All right, but I didn't have enough time to like comb her hair or do any other shit. And so, but I knew there's gonna be backlash with K-Mac because I didn't have a chance to comb her hair. Because like when she does her hair and she braids it, like if you don't comb your hair, like it's all bad, especially when it's not wet. Like it's gonna hurt Riley's scalp. But I'm like I ran out of time. So but people, they don't get how much time and effort we put in just to make ourselves presentable, just for white people. It's basically just for you, and it's fucking ridiculous. And then even still, for those people to get mad that the hours that people are putting into their children's hair, or even to their own hair, and that people are still get mad about that shit. You know what? Fuck you. Like seriously, fuck you.
I like this. I need to see this John Oliver. I do usually watch him, so I can't believe I missed a really good one. There was a whole, I think we talked about it a few years ago. Chris Rock did the Good Hair documentary, which was excellent on the same topic. I'm also going to say this, and I'm not trying to say it in a fucked up way, but this is a heavily skewed issue typically with black women's hair versus black men in terms of just how much time. Now, some men do have long hair. Some men do put in more time. Some men have, I get all that. But I'm saying on average, it seems like I have a son and a daughter. For my son, you know, hey, you got to wash your hair, put a little oil in it and whatnot. It's nowhere near the problem. We got to cut it. Sometimes I'll cut it. Usually would go to a barbershop or maybe one of his uncles would. With my daughter, like, Mishka will spend all Sunday morning doing that process. And so, you know, it's just me and my son pretty much that day taking care of all the household chores. It's a 4 to sometimes even 6 hour process. And so I got to give props to the black girls and black women on that side for, you know, just that being a longer process in general for them. Not always. Yes, there's some men with longer hair, but in general, it's a shorter process for the boys.
And to still get shit on. That's the main thing for me, is like you still get shit on for putting in that much time and attention to make yourselves what you assume would be presentable to them. And they still shut you. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, seriously.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Well, it's
so
funny. Well, quick thing. It's funny because I was watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it was the episode where Will goes back to Philly, and like he comes back to Bel-Air, and he had like braids in his hair, and his uncle's giving him shit, saying like, "Hey, you look like a fucking prisoner. You need to cut your fucking hair." And I'm thinking like, there's actually, I think every black family TV show had at least one episode that came across that issue with the hair. Like, okay, your hair isn't presentable. You need to like cut it. I'm thinking of like Family Matters. They did something like that. Some of the older ones, maybe not so much, just because, you know, the fro was the thing, so that's what they expect your hair to look like. But like, you know, all the future ones, they all had that aspect. I think even like with with Sister, I think Batman or whoever, Marcus Houston came in one time and had braids, and like the dad said something crazy to him before he like started just having like a little curls or whatever. But yeah, I mean it's just interesting how like that's how stuff is played out for African American people with like curly hair. People
Well,
curly hair. Basically.
when I've seen like stories recently, like in over the past year, where like some fucking crazy white person will cut a person's hair in school, like cut their like whatever like braids or whatever they have, and it's like, bruh, listen, if somebody ever did that to my daughter, and I would literally come to school with clippers. I'd be like, I guess your hair's gone now too, right? Like seriously, because first of all, how fucking dare you put your hands on a child and cut their hair just because of something that you don't like how they naturally come in life? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you to do that? Like, I remember one of them was like the kid that was wrestling. He had dreads. They cut off his hair. They had to literally cut his hair on the sides. I'm like, no. If I was the father, I'd be like, nah, you lost your fucking mind, and I'm gonna fucking sue you. Like, you're out of your mind. And another one was like some kid that was like a little kid that was going to school, and some teacher decided to cut her hair, and I'm just like, you've lost your mind. Like, they don't understand the time that goes into this shit, and the disrespect that you're putting.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more of a, like, they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It looks ugly to them, and, like, fuck you. You know, they don't care. But I'm even going to say this, too. Sometimes, like, with, you know, the rosters and whatnot, that's actually part of not only a cultural, but a religious significance. And you don't even care if it has religious significance. You know, you wouldn't go up to, you know, someone who's wearing a burqa or a yarmulke or something like that and forcefully remove that from them, you know, as part of their religious customs, because it'd be all fucked up. But you feel comfortable just saying, let me cut off your fucking locks. Fuck you. So, you know.
It's been around for years.
So we actually talked about this briefly with Echo Kellum from Arrow. If you listen to our podcast with him, we talked about how long it takes to get rolled up, and he knew about that. He knew, like, it takes hours, so we had, like, other theories. One theory was that the Flash came and knew how to roll hairs.
What was great about the John Oliver episode is that he actually was playing clips from black actors, and they were talking about how there is, like, a shortage of people that know how to do black hair in Hollywood. Like, there's places where, like, they would go on set to, like, get hair and makeup done, and they would just spray some water on their hair and just, like, pat it down, like, oh, you're good. It's like, no, like, this is not how this shit works. Like, you need to know how to, like, do my hair. Like,
that makes so much fucking sense now that you're saying that, Kronos.
Because we've all seen.
We've talked about the fact that, hey, why does so-and-so have really fucked up hair in this scene? Yeah. And now there's a light bulb moment for me, like, oh, because they had shitty makeup and hair people that didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Like,
of course.
Like Dr. Dre and The Walking Dead, his fucking dreads.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Shit. That's probably why he's not on there anymore. I don't know if he came back. I stopped watching for a while. But, yeah, man, like, there's a lot of shows where the black person hair just looks like garbage. It's
awful.
Yeah.
If it's not flat and straight, it doesn't look great.
Yeah. The amount of depth that he goes into and the actual language that he uses in that episode, I was just like, I don't agree with everything John Oliver says, but that segment was so fucking spot on. It was so well done. I think any black person that watches this will probably be amazed on the amount of knowledge that he at least exudes. So, but yeah, I was just like, oh shit, all right, he's saying all the right things. And yeah.
Is the episode that he's talking about, is he just talking about black people's hair?
Yeah. He's talking about specifically black people's hair.
Well, it's cool. It's available on YouTube right now.
Yeah, and it should.
I'm not sure if it was only on HBO.
Yeah. Usually his segments are available on YouTube, not the whole episodes, but this segment, I'll probably share it out on our social medias, but it was so well done. I think it's an issue that most people, if you don't have African hair, you know, then you probably don't even really give a shit about. Yeah, to be honest, for me, like, I never had to deal with, obviously with my hair, I fucking cut it for the most part. I don't really give a shit. I deal with my beard, but that's about it. But, you know, when it comes to my youngest daughter, I mean, she's got, you know, 4C hair, and I had to figure out how to take care of it. I mean, you know, my oldest daughter, she's mixed, so she had mostly straight hair. It was loosely curled. And then K-Mac has been the one that really went above and beyond, like really learning how to like do all the, and Kemex, she's white, and she's had to like go into these groups to figure out how to do Riley's hair, and figure out how to do twists and cornrows and all those other things. Just like she spends hours at a time, just like Mishka does. Probably ask Mishka for help sometimes too. Just sitting down for hours trying to make Riley's hair the way that she wants it. And it's just like it's a lot of commitment that people are just shit on it. They don't even get it. They're not even willing to understand like how much time they're putting in for it to be presentable for them.
I remember last year or a couple of years ago, I saw something on Facebook where there was a woman who started a business where she was teaching families how to take care of black hair, because there's a lot of people adopting kids of African descent, and so like they were showing them how to do their hair, like how to comb and this and that, and like people were saying like, yeah, this is like black people's hair is just different. It's like you just take care of it a different way. It's not, you can't just fucking like comb it and expect to just be like some easy peasy thing. Like, yeah, it's definitely a fucking challenge. And I remember being a kid, like getting my hair combed out, and I'll be crying or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, don't worry, you're just tender-headed." It's like, nah,
Tender.
He even had the fucking the hot combs on the episode. He's like,
Oh,
remember that
yeah.
smell? He was like,
damn.
he's like, a good portion of my audience probably doesn't know what these are, but y'all that know, remember that smell?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, John Oliver.
Yeah, he
Holy
went fucking
shit.
deep. He went so deep.
Damn.
No, that's awesome, man. That's
Got it.
awesome.
Kind of jumping back to Chris Brown. So yeah, he had that. Not Chris Brown.
Wait.
Was it not Chris Brown? Fuck.
I was like, we talking about wife beaters?
No.
I
Chris
was gonna
Rock.
say,
Damn.
he wasn't a wife.
Chris Rock had. Yeah, Chris Rock had that movie Good Hair, but then he also released a horror movie called Bad Hair. That was horrible. That movie was so fucking bad on fucking Hulu. Oh man,
Yep.
it was all kind of bad.
There you
About
go.
people with hair taking over. But there's a funny fact. There's a movie called Hair. That's a Japanese horror movie or J horror movie. It's fucking funny as hell. It's worth watching. Basically, this guy is cutting the hair of this dead girl, and whoever gets her hair weaves into him, the hair takes over and like starts killing people. It's pretty fucking funny, but like people like get the hair starts going into the body and like grows out of the body. It's fucking funny. So if you can find out, check that out.
I love Japanese and Korean horror because they're not afraid to go fucking weird ass places with their shit. You know what I mean?
Or
So-
very good. Like, watch Kingdom on Netflix.
Oh, I still need to watch that one.
I
Yeah.
don't
So good. So good.
I'm gonna check that one out, Old Ninja, because it does have like some super awesome high ratings and whatnot. So
So
Dude,
we
good.
can fucking see.
That shit's got fucking the fast zombies. They don't got the slow Walking Dead zombies. They got
Oh yeah,
fucking-
they're running at high speed. They're running at high speed, like at people. I'm just like, oh my god, like and then they, no matter what their goal is to get to you, and they're gonna like harm themselves until they get to you. Type shit. It's so good.
Old Ninja, I'm gonna put you on the spot to switch gears a little bit because we haven't really touched upon it. Star Wars is your thing. Well, actually, two sci-fi things: Star Wars, Bad Batch. I want to hear your impressions on, and then I don't want you to forget. Basically, Mass Effect is nearly upon us. So, are you excited and hyped about that too? So, go ahead.
There's a lot going on this week, which I'll probably end up talking about later on, probably because we'll probably end up in the next 20-30 minutes. But Bad Batch, I think I talked about it briefly, but what I didn't know, there's a second episode came out last Friday. So episode 1 came out on Star Wars Day, which was last Tuesday, and then there's another episode that came out that Friday after the podcast. So it's been definitely interesting. There's been a lot of callbacks and callbacks, name drops, and some cameos. But the Bad Batch is definitely making their own way and carving out their own story. They're literally starting at the very beginning of the Empire, and so how that affects them, Order 66, how they're gonna survive. Like, we don't even have the rebellion yet. We see Saw Gerrera when he's still like pre Forrest Whitaker looking. He's still a young man, sort of. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I know there's been a lot of fans that are kind of like hesitant on the little girl. There's a new character. She's a clone, but she's an altered clone, and apparently she's defective. We don't know how or why.
But
So it's
I remember in the
but
episode they were talking about how like they made her to be like one of the doctors or whatever, like whatever those creatures are that are creating the clones.
the
Yeah, but
Kimoans, whatever.
yeah, when they said, but they said that way before you find out that she's actually a clone.
hmm So we'll see. A lot of people are speculating, who she's supposed to be or whatnot. I think she might die later. Who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely on board. The first episode's over an hour. The second episode's only half an hour. We're gonna get a new episode. I guess on Friday. So I'm gonna see where it goes from there.
Can I ask a quick question, Old Ninja?
Mm.
Because I haven't started this at all. Just kind of yay or nay. Is this like Mando level great or?
It's like it's an animated show, so it's on the level of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so it kind of keeps the tone with the Clone Wars, but we're in uncharted territory. That's what makes this a lot more interesting. This is territory. This is the 20 years between Episode 3 and A New Hope. So we'll get to see what's going on between this outside of Rebels.
Was the Clone Wars a series, or was it like a mini series, or was it just a movie?
It's
All
both.
Stuff.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's
No,
all
'cause,
the
I
above.
was two
I was
different
trying to find
series.
I was trying to find the series on because I remember it was on Cartoon Network, and I remember there being like a
That's the
mini
best one.
like it was probably like 5 minute clip they would show it like in between like different anime on cartoons
So,
on Cartoon Network. But no on Disney Plus they don't have the series on there. They only have the movies.
No, so I'm gonna break it down really quick because so there's the micro series.
The micro series, that's what it was.
The micro series is on Disney Plus. They added it April 1st of this year. So the micro series is under the Star Wars Collection tab, where there's the Ewok films is on there as well. There's the 2-hour animated movie which kicks off the Clone Wars series. And then there's the micro series. The micro series has a big time jump in between the two volumes. So all of that is on there. All of it's on Disney Plus.
But I'm
You
very
can go on
confused.
there and watch it.
Do they have the Gendy Tartakovsky one?
Yeah, that's called they call it the micro series, but they call it Star Wars Vintage, and it's on Disney Plus. It's under the Star Wars Vintage tab.
That's the best fucking
it's
one. I'm just saying.
yeah, it's in two. It's split into two. So it's split into hour and 15-minute watches.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, so it's just like the DVD. If you bought the DVD, disc one had the first hour, which was the first season, and the second disc had the second hour, which was the second season.
Well, the
So
reason,
all of that's on Disney Plus now.
yeah, the reason why that one's great is because it's a direct time between the movies. It's literally in between two of the movies, and it shows
Mhm.
why General Grievous was like all kind of fucked up before Clone Wars, like the movie. So
Yeah, the micro series it gives you your first look at Grievous. It introduces Asajj Ventress, which is a super popular character. They brought back a character from the micro series and made him canon, and I guess we're gonna see him in Bad Batch maybe. But Dirge, bounty hunter, which you see in the micro series,
he was dope.
and he's in the comics, but he's coming back apparently. So there's a lot of stuff that's introduced in the micro series, which was incorporated into the animated series.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff going on there.
What's cool, I like with the beginning of the Bad Batch, they do the whole like previously on episode, like when you have the guy talking, like, oh, and the Warriors had to fight this and that and this and that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then you had to cut over to such and such. Like I like how they did that. 'Cause they did that with Clone Wars, and I'm glad they kind of keep that going.
Yeah, they brought that back, which is interesting. They took that out for Rebels, which is which is whatever. It's whatever for me. And then Friday we have Mass Effect: The Legendary Edition. We don't have Stitch here yelling out foul and trying to shit all over this, but
hey,
a lot of,
Elijah, this is all I want to know. When you pick it up, let me know if the Mass Effect 1 has the controls like 2 and 3. If it does, I'll pick it up.
Oh,
right
yeah.
away. If it doesn't, like, be honest with me, please. 'Cause if you
Oh,
tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
it does and it doesn't, I'm gonna fucking come to your house and fuck you up.
yeah, I've been reading up on it. I guess it will have like a hybrid Definitely, the controls for the Mako, which is the vehicle you get to drive, are apparently improved and slightly different.
I don't care
And
about the
then I
Mako.
guess
I just care about how fucking basically
the
the basic
combat, yeah,
gameplay. Yeah, the combat. It's so
yeah. I
terrible.
guess the combat is supposed to be more like Mass Effect 3 than 2, but I'm gonna find
That's the
out
best
when
one
I play
anyway.
the
As
game.
far as gameplay goes,
So
yeah.
and yeah, I'm gonna find out when I get the game. It comes out Friday. Um, it's gonna be, I guess, all the DLC except for one will be included in the package. So it'll be definitely interesting to play and check out. I'm excited to see it. I may wait a few days before I play it, but we'll see.
I really want like other franchises to follow Mass Effect's vision of just saying, "Hey, we know you like guys like fucking RPGs. We're gonna put stakes in our RPGs, and it's gonna follow 3 fucking games. Where if you fuck up and so dies in your party in the first game, well, guess what? You don't see that character in 2 and 3. Like
Hmm.
that aspect of things that should have been emulated by a lot of other RPGs franchises.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Doesn't
hard to
The
do.
Witcher? Yeah. Well, I mean, not. But doesn't The Witcher do that too, or no? I didn't play The
So
Witcher.
that's what's so hard. I started with 3 and they did some recap stuff, but they didn't have 2 and 1 on PlayStation. So
Hmm.
if they ever do that, I'd actually go back and play a revamped version of Witcher 1 and 2.
Oh, that'd
Yeah,
be interesting.
playing
Yeah.
playing Mass Effect is like watching Speed Racer, where somebody dies, they don't fucking come back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Mass Effect it'll be definitely interesting to play. I'm glad that a lot of people who never got a chance to pick it up. I mean, I know it's on Game Pass now, but now you get the 4K version, improved graphics, improved gameplay, hopefully, for this franchise. The only thing that's missing is the multiplayer for Part 3, which is definitely unfortunate, but I mean, I think the game as a whole will be worth it to play that whole experience.
Did they ever even add multiplayer to that shitty Andromeda one?
It came with multiplayer day one.
Oh, okay. I
Did
didn't
it?
know that.
Yeah, it had multiplayer day one. I was just playing the other day.
I stopped playing it
They
because
didn't.
the game was terrible
Yeah,
when it first came out.
They didn't really. Yeah, they didn't really add a whole lot to the multiplayer. There's a limited amount of maps, but they added a bunch of characters, and that was kind of it. Oh, and a couple of guns, but there was a lot of improvement that needed to be added for that multiplayer. But it is what it is. So
Cool. Can I mention something real quick? This is something I'm excited about, and I think Kronos is too. Regina King and it looks like Ryan Coogler maybe doing some producing are going to direct Bitterroot, the Image comic from I think it's Kevin Walker, or David Walker, rather David Walker that did it. This is we've talked about this a couple years back. This is a great Image series that's basically like Harlem Renaissance um, ghost busting almost in a fun kind of way. Like a family that is able to like take out supernatural demons that have a racist element to it. The Klan is in there in like Harlem Renaissance era with super incredible art and some really fun storylines. I love this fucking comic. I still read it to this day. The fact that it's getting an adaptation with Regina King has me fucking hyped even without a trailer. What y'all think?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think I might have read the first one. I was interested, but y'all know I read a lot of comics, or I try to anyway. And I think that was one of the ones where I just forgot to re-up it. There's been a bunch of series like that. But yeah, I was interested in the first one. I need to like buy some trades. That's what I gotta do.
Yeah. Catch up. Hopefully, you'll probably have a year or two before it actually debuts. I think just in terms of a movie, not a series, but this could be a hit. I hope it is. And like I said, it's one of my favorite Image comics, so I'm all the way on board.
Well, yeah, I think Image is it's a really good. I think it's really good for like a lot of production studios, to be honest, because you can do a shorter series for like a lot of Image comics that they don't last forever. You know,
Hmm.
it's not like it's not like the X-Men or Superman or some shit like that, where there's fucking 5 gajillion goddamn stories you can tell. Like there's a specific story that the writers decided to write, and you stick to that. And unless it's like Invincible, I guess it's one that's pretty fucking long. But
Or The Walking Dead.
yeah, The Walking Dead. But there's ones where you can just tiptoe in there You know, and just get a little bit of the fucking taste of like a different sort of storytelling and not have to invest too much money into it. I mean, look at like Watchmen. That's a great example. Like they made the movie of Watchmen, which is basically mostly comic correct, and then they made the new series, which wasn't even in the comics, which is even to me better than the goddamn movie and the original comic. So yeah, I hope that these production studios do more with these independent comics, because there's a lot of content there that is really good, and it's not sort of like vanilla like Marvel and DC are. Like if you look at like Marvel and DC comics, like they talk about like, you know, the civil rights movement, but they don't make a actual comic about the civil rights movement. You know what I mean? Or like even alternative history on the civil rights movement, because they go edgy, but not too edgy. And I think that Image, they're more willing to take the road less traveled by, and then also really take risks, and they can do that. So
like I'm looking at some of the still images from the comics. I've never even heard of this comics, but I'm looking at some of the still images or pages from the comic, and it's very like Afro steampunkish, and it looks pretty fucking dope. It looks very dope.
The colors are wild, man.
Yeah.
Just to put one quick thing though out there, because some people will pick up on it though. Watchmen was technically under DC though, not Image.
oh, didn't they? Was it?
It was like Vertigo, but under a larger umbrella of DC.
Right. No, thank you.
Right.
But yeah, the only other thing I was going to do a quick shout out for a couple reminders. We get Army of the Dead tomorrow. That look fucking fun with Drax.
Nope.
What?
Army. No, 21st.
21st. God damn it, I'm a week early. Okay, never mind. Scratch that.
You got your numbers because today's the 12th. You got to reverse it.
You know I got dyslexia. God damn.
Have you guys seen that trailer for the movie that Angelina Jolie is releasing on Friday on HBO Max, I think?
Is that the fire one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, I feel like it's like a watered down Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I don't. That trailer, I'm not completely shitting on it, but it just kind of looked ho hum to me, like some modern day Backdraft or something.
I'm still gonna watch it because I have HBO Max and it's free.
There you go. But the other thing though, I think I have the right dates on this one now. Old Ninja, fact check me if I'm wrong. Castlevania season 4 though drops tomorrow, and that's the final fucking season.
Wait,
if you're really into it, 12:01 tonight, which I'm probably gonna watch like around 12:30. So yeah, I'm excited.
Shout out to our boy Sam Dietz. This looks fucking great. I can't fucking wait. I know by next week I'm gonna fly through this, so hopefully we can have a real good ass discussion. So we'll see.
Doesn't My Hero Academia drop this weekend, I think?
I'm trying to fact check while we talk.
I think.
Is it a movie or the series coming back?
March 27th. Okay,
so
later on this
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
March,
wait, not March. What the fuck? I'm looking at Google too. How dare you? No, it's on Screen Rant. They fucked this up.
Throw them under the bus. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think this is from like earlier last year. Okay, sorry. The thing was from last year, so this is when they were guessing was gonna come out. So when the fuck is the next one? I thought it was gonna be this weekend.
Maybe not.
Oh shit! I don't fucking know. Well, that was season
Well,
5. I don't fucking
What
know.
is I know there's a bunch of shows that are releasing new season this year or this month too. I think Lucifer's, I think his 5th season could dropping later on this month, but I'm looking forward to. That's like one of my favorite DC shows. That's a DC show, so. But have you guys been watching this fucking Jupiter's Legacy or?
Not yet. I haven't seen it.
I watched part of the first one, but then came back was like, I'm not into it. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch it on my own then.
That's kind of K-Mac. I'm like trying to power through it. It's like up there with Iron Fist on how kind of cringy it kind of is. I'm trying to watch it, but it's not fucking invincible.
Y'all not selling me on this one. It sounds like. So
Well,
we'll see.
I gotta watch more. Like I said, I only watched like 15 minutes, and then came out and was like, I'm good.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's number one streaming on Netflix right now, so it's their number one most watched show.
Some of those still don't hit for me, but we'll fucking see. Did we have any B's and B's?
I can't trust those Netflix like #1 ratings that they have on there because like like the top tens they have on there, like 80% of them are their shows.
Yeah, some of them are like it'll be like a baby show. You know what I mean?
You know that or whatever.
Cocomelon. Hey,
Yeah.
you'll get used to that shit. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I remember when Cocomelon used to be called something else, and they changed the name to Cocomelon. As Riley was growing up, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting. And now for them to get picked up by, it used to be only a YouTube channel. And they got picked up by Netflix, so that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I remember like whenever like I would come over when the podcast used to be back in the garage or whatever at your house and we used to go to golf meet up. I'll come over and I got to watch some TV show and I'm like, I know this show from somewhere and like I was like, this isn't the name of it. It wasn't called something else. But yeah, the Cocomelon.
Unless we have any B's and B's, I'm gonna say we wrap it on.
I had B the BTI, but I forgot what it was. I should have fucking put it on the list. It was something I heard on the radio.
Save it for next week.
That'd be a good question to ask the crew.
On real quick, I'm really
okay.
checking. I'm actually checking for the B the BTI questions. On Twitter, usually, and the last one was on March 25th.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
cool.
no, we're good.
Old Ninja, what you got populating this week? God damn it.
So, like we talked about, Mass Effect will be out on Friday. We also got Love, Death, and Robots Season 2 will be on Friday, which I plan on watching that eventually. I've been playing Destiny, their new season just dropped. It's also my birthday week. So, yeah, I'm about to turn like 1,000 years old later on this week. So I'm surprised that the universe hasn't taken me yet, but maybe I'll become one with the universe soon. We'll see. I will be probably going out of town for like an extended birthday thing. Might go to, up north to some like little vacation, not vacation, but maybe a little legal gambling and whatnot. So we'll see what happens with that. That'll be early in next week. And then, I picked up this comic. I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping it's going to be fun, but I picked this up. For those of you who are still in the chat, you can see this is Ruby and Justice League crossover comic. I picked this up. This is issue number 1. Just came out not too long ago. I haven't read this yet. The artwork is kind of anime inspired a little bit, but I'm hoping this is going to be good. I know there's the other crossover that's wildly popular, which is the My Little Pony and the Transformers crossover. Yeah, apparently that's been selling like hotcakes. It's been super popular. I have no idea why. I don't really plan on reading it, but I might. We'll see. But yeah. And then,
hold on, real quick. If you're wondering why My Little Pony and Transformers is so popular, I am no brony, all right? But I have little girls, and My Little Pony, like the more recent ones, they're actually really fucking good. I'm not bullshitting you. Even if you're not into My Little Pony, they're actually pretty good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
It's not what you think.
MLP goes hard.
Jumping back to Castlevania, when did we say it was coming out?
What? Love, Death, and Robots Season 2. Also, Castlevania is tonight.
Okay. I thought we said that Castlevania come out on the 21st.
No, the 21st is Army of the Dead.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So technically, Castlevania is out tomorrow, which is Thursday. But if you're still awake on the West Coast at 12:01, it'll be available to watch. So I'll be watching that, and I think that's it.
Good shit. Kronos, what you got?
I am still on my basic Groundhog's Day loop. I'm exercising, working, taking the kid to school, shit like that. I got 400 miles on the Peloton bike in 30 days. That was great. It's a milestone for me. It's a lot of miles on the bike. Other than that, I just would like to thank my sister once again for making us these dope ass candles. I'm still smelling this dankness. This is the dankest candle ever of all time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to we're slowly but surely getting back to real life. I think Old Ninja's the last person to get the vaccine. So you should be able to see, hopefully sometime soon, all of us in the same room again. But I have to rearrange the podcast studio, the Infinity Base. That's all on me, and I will do that hopefully sometime soon. Yeah, I think that's just about it. That's all I got.
No worries. Blue, what you got?
Little baby Bash, he's 8 weeks today. He's 8 weeks today. It's just cool. Monday, he's officially 2 months.
Wow.
But he gets his first round of shots. But with Sweets and I've been talking, we want to have them break it up because we feel like I think he's maybe 5 or 6 shots that he's gonna get on Monday. And we're like, nah, that's way too much for a little body.
Well,
so we're gonna
hold on.
do
real quick though. Some of them you can't break up because it's 3 in 1.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some we're gonna have them get done together. Whatever wants to be done together, and then we'll get the other set a month later.
Yeah.
The CDC recommend you get these within a certain time frame. So we're gonna do that.
Deal. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just feel like it's way too much. But yeah, just spending time with the kid. It's just interesting to see him grow. I feel like I'll find the cheat code to get him to be happy. Then all of a sudden, the next day, it'll be totally fucking different. I'll be holding up.
Oh, you can't tell what it is because it's fucking secret.
Yeah, I can only see artwork.
Yeah.
And there's no title.
No, just keep talking. It's all good. It's really serious though. That's what it is.
Crossover. Huh.
Crossover what? Is this crossover?
This is. I'll talk about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your whole thing. He was showing comics, I was showing mine. I'll talk about this next week. It's one of the best comics that Image has. Actually, probably ever. It's Tanika. So.
All right. Yeah, for those of you who are listening to audio, I show him the new Star Wars: The High Republic comics, which came out today. So I picked them up today. Oh shit. So yeah.
Yeah. Outside of make sure kids stay alive, just doing little things here and there. I'm gonna try to pick up. I guess I gotta play Resident Evil 7 first before I can play or Biohazard before I can play Dank Mistress Queen D.
Do it the right way. Don't be like Stitch.
Yeah.
Playing 8 and confused. What's going on with Ethan? I don't understand.
Yeah, okay. I gotta play 7 because I have it as part of the when I got my PS5, it was part of the Golden Collection, so I can definitely play it. But what I was gonna say, what the shit? What I was gonna say. Fuck it. I'm just gonna continue gaming, having a couple of drinks, spending time with my. Just a little quick shout out. Thanks for everybody who thought of my little brother. He was in the hospital for a while because he had a heart attack, and he seems to be doing better. So shout out to him. Some of my little niece and nephews are in the area, and I kind of want to see them, but I kind of don't, just because kids carry germs like nobody's business. So it might be just a quick drive by, okay, you drive by, I wave, and you keep on going for now.
Oh shit.
All good. Damn, Kronos has a lot of comics. You better do a goddamn comic review next episode.
I have a lot of comics, so this is just some of them. But it's
I love fucking Punchline.
Yeah, it's the variant of Punchline.
Punchline was one of my favorite characters from last year. You know what I'm doing, y'all. You know I've been hyping up fucking Resident Evil. You know goddamn well I'm gonna try to get through this castle. Eventually it's gonna be just like Nino Brown and fucking New Jack City. I'm gonna have to kill the bitch. But it's gonna make me cry while I point the pistol at her. But yeah, I gotta finish this fucking game. I love it so fucking much. I can't wait to get all the way through it.
I heard what I was gonna say. Audiobook. The Last Hunter. I talked about how I finished it, and I know Cronus is starting to listen to it, so I like to get his take on how things are going. But also on Netflix, they had another season or another part of the Selena documentary or show or whatever. And the second part is actually better than the first. I feel like the acting got a lot better. And the girl from The Walking Dead who plays Vina, I think she does a better job in this second part.
Oh.
But definitely check this out. It's pretty good. It's kind of sad because it's like watching Titanic. You know what's going to happen at the end, but you still want to watch it.
That's all bad. That's all bad, but
It's still really good. Like I didn't like. There's a lot of stuff I did not know about her. Like the one crazy thing is that I know she was from Texas. I always thought she was from Mexico. My whole life has been a lie. Shout out to Tanika.
Texas used to be part of Mexico, but that's all good. Ninja, take us out.
Now I want to spoil it.
You just experienced the Dankest podcast on the internet. We are Black and Black times Infinity. Check us out anywhere and everywhere online with Beathan BTI. That's BTHANBTI. Anywhere and everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI. You can email us at bthenbti@gmail.com because we have a Discord. You need to be invited to get to the Discord server. Email us. Let us know who you are. And if you're cool and we know you are because you've been coming to the chat, we'll invite you to the Discord and interact with you and interact with us. And then we're also on Twitch. A lot of people didn't realize, but we have a Twitch channel. You should be twitching out your vampy, titty, bitty, goth, fucking step on you, mommy, on Twitch there.
I shall. I can do that this weekend.
You should have been had. Just saying.
I'm too scared, man. Them titties were scary.
I didn't see a Twitch work on my PS5 because
Hold on! When are titties scary? When
When they try to transmorph and they're like gray and peeling? Come on now.
Okay. You didn't say all that if they're trying to like do that Hellraiser shit on you.
I mean, we've all seen anime where titties turn into fucking mouths with fucking crazy ass
that's
shit.
Yeah.
Spitting out venom. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn, I missed the goddamn anime hentai panel. I miss it so much.
No, but
sorry.
In Devil May Cry, there's the one scene where they're up in the club and that chick, like, she takes off her title, like, oh shit, and all of a sudden her tit turns into a fucking like crocodile and eats some dude's fucking head.
Goddamn.
Right.
Yes.
We
gotta end this.
Yeah.
Peace.